Hello everyone, my name is Autumn and today is going to be a writing slash lifestyle slash reading vlog. It has been quite a few weeks since I have vlogged. I feel a little all over the place. Last month, which was August, was just crazy. There was a lot that went on, and I'll be totally honest, I think I overbooked myself last month. I got a little bit of burnout. Not so much burnout with writing, just with other things, with just life. I want to talk to you guys about last month and all of those things. So last month, which was August, I had a self-imposed deadline for my current writing project, which is a fantasy novel. My self-imposed deadline was August 31st, and I did not hit that deadline. I'm not upset with myself about not hitting that goal because there was just so much other stuff that went on. I had some weird facial eyelid rash things that were going on. I was a little self-conscious about that, which we have figured it out. That is all well, all fine and dandy. Last month was it was my least productive month in the writing department. I did not hit my self-imposed deadline. Even though it was my least productive month in the writing world, I was still able to write a little bit. I believe, based off of memory, I did write 2 chapters. So it was probably around 4,000 words that I wrote last month, and I've been averaging between 10 and 15,000 words for this project within the last few months. So I wrote about half of that last month. It was what it was. There's not much I can do about it now, with it being September 7th. The only thing I can do now is just buckle down and write the remaining 6-ish thousand words left of this manuscript. Oh, my battery is dying. Hang on one second. I also put on a sweater because I was getting a little chilly. I ran around and did all of these errands earlier this morning, so I will not be leaving the house at all today. I have been reading for the last couple of hours Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's the 3rd book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have a book club meeting next Thursday with Brie Bonomo. I have been reading that this morning and just trying to take it slow after I was running around. I've been up since 6:30 this morning, but I want to read a little bit more of this. This book started on page like 700 and something, and it goes to like 1,000. I am on page 767. So that's what I've got going on. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this vlog. Return of the King, next, lunch, writing. Let's do it. I have my plot grid that you guys see in every single vlog, but I have it so we can sit here and chat about it for a second. I am on chapter 23 out of 27. I'm so freaking close, you guys. I am currently at 55,635 words. So I have chapter 23. I have 5 chapters left, and I think I'm a little into chapter 23. Okay, I am. I have about 2 pages, so probably like 750 words into chapter 23. Currently, my characters are all in different places, but they're all starting to meet up for the final the final scene, that chapter we're waiting for, which is gonna be the next chapter is chapter 24. While my writing last month was sporadic, it was terrible, horrible, not what I wanted it to be, I was also working at a slower pace. Because all of my characters were in different places leading up to chapter 24, I had to keep going back and this is poor planning on my part. This was a writing mistake. I have to keep going back to previous chapters to remember where my characters were when I'm coming back to them. So if we have 2 characters in chapter 21 and we're coming back to them in chapter 23, I don't remember where they were. So I'm having to go back and make sure everybody is where they were when we last left them. So that's been taking me a little bit of time to go back to research to find where everybody is. And that's a mistake on my part because that's not how I originally plotted out this story to be. It was just something that kind of just happened. I made way too much work for myself doing that, and I'm paying for it. We've learned our lesson for sure. But I think that's also why it's been taking me a while to get through these final couple thousand words, is because of that and just the lack of discipline from last month. I am halfway, or about 7,500 words into 7,500 words. No, 750 words into chapter 23. I left my notes last time I was writing, which I think that was the 1st of September. It was the last time I opened up this bad boy. I left myself notes in my last writing session, so I know where I left off last time, and that's where I'm just gonna kick off this time. So hopefully I can finish chapter 23, start on chapter 24, and see how much I can get done. I've got about 2 hours that I can dedicate to writing, so I think that's what I want to do, because it's 3:30 now. I would like to write until about 5:30 and then enjoy the rest of my evening. I have just been struggling through this 3rd act. The last 2 chapters and to the rest of the story. So really all of Act 3 has been a struggle. I talked about this earlier where I had split up all of my characters. They were all in different places, and that wasn't originally the plan, but we just rolled with it. It's a first draft. We can fix it later. It's really not that big of a deal. But I don't like it. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't like how I'm getting to the ending. I am stuck between wanting to finish the story, doing my best, writing out my plot grid, and then wrapping it up and finishing. I don't want to say I want to stop writing because I need to finish the draft. Regardless, this draft will be finished, but I just don't like it. I'm stuck between these last few chapters, make them more vague and not so detailed. So then when I go back and edit it, I don't feel like there's so much wasted words. But then I'm also caught between keep writing the chapters how I have been with the 2,000, 2,500 words, keep writing as much as I can, giving myself as much information as possible. So I'm stuck between those 2 things because I know that this is not the ending I want. This is not how I want it to go. So I'm stuck because I'm feeling like everything I'm writing right now is gonna have to be rewritten. I don't like it. It's not what I wanted. It's not it's not good, but it's first draft, so it's fine if it's not good. But I think I've just been struggling because I know it's not correct. It's not what I want, and I know it has to be rewritten. I'm struggling with feeling like I'm wasting my time. I know I'm not, but it's still just a subconscious thing where I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like it's not what I want, and I know it's because I made some mistakes earlier which have led to this point. I'm just rambling. I've been writing for about 30 minutes. I don't know how much I have written. I have written 458 words in this 30-ish minutes. So I'm still getting my word counts, but it's just, we're reaching that point of feeling done, but we're not done, if that makes sense. I'm gonna keep pushing through. I think what I want to do to at least finish out this story is to keep it sort of vague, because I only have 5 chapters left. Only 5 chapters. It's totally doable. So I think what I want to do is to just keep it vague, keep it simple to the point. I know there are going to be some things that I've mentioned throughout the story that I'm not going to get a chance to revisit, and that happens. It's a first draft. It's supposed to be messy. I'm going to get up and stretch for 5 minutes, and then we're going to finish chapter 23 and then take another break. Okay, let's do this. Let's stretch for a minute. think I've stretched enough. That was not 5 minutes. That was literally like a minute. Let's get back to it. So it's 4:30 now. I am feeling a little bit better than I did in my last update. I finished chapter 23 and it finished word count for chapter 23 ended up being 1,523 words. It's a lot shorter than most of my chapters, but I'm okay with that, considering the conversation we just had a little bit ago with me cutting back maybe on my word counts and being a little more vague. I got the gist of what I wanted to happen, made sure I hit all of the points I wanted to hit, make sure I covered all of the beats in my plot grid. That's it. I didn't add any little extra fluff or anything else like I had been kind of doing with my other chapters leading up to this point. My other chapters, I have been including all of the plots, subplots, plot. I have been including all of that, but I've also been putting in some world building and trying to develop the characters and all of that. Since I'm in Act 3, my characters are as good as they are probably gonna get, so I don't really need to develop any more characters because they're already developed. They're going back into the city and I've already explained the city, so I don't need to re-explain it unless there was something that was important that we could have forgotten, but I don't think so. They're just moving through the city. So chapter 24 is going to pick up right where I left off. I don't need to revisit too many of the characters now because they all should be pretty much in the same place. I still think there's like 2 characters that are somewhere else. Other than that, everybody is coming together. It'll be okay. We're okay. It's 4:30. I don't know if I said that. So I've been working on this for a little less than an hour because I stood up and stretched and took a little bit of a break in there. I don't have the stamina that I had been having where I could write for 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna take another break, maybe do another 30 minutes, and then I'll be done with writing for the day. And by take a break, I mean I am going to play video games for about 30 minutes. I'm very scared to do this. So I have a confession. Okay, music is playing and I'm like shouting, I feel like. I have not played video games in about 3 years. Long story short, I have a very bad video game addiction and I had completely stopped playing video games because I had just such an unhealthy relationship playing video games. And it's been about 3 years. So when I started my channel was pretty much when I changed my free time from video games to writing and content creation because I needed something a little bit healthier than playing video games. And so I have not played video games in about 3 years. However, last Saturday, I really wanted to play a video game. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? We're just gonna play a video game. And I played for about an hour and it was great. I had fun. I didn't get jitters. I didn't want to keep playing. I had just enough of a video game fix. It's been since Saturday and it's the following Thursday. So I'm going to play for about 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna get back to writing. But I feel like this might help inspire me. Even though I just said I had an unhealthy relationship with them, they made me so much more creative sometimes. I feel like maybe this is what I need. So I am taking a break. I'm not moving from this spot. I am just going to play a video game. And if you're curious about what video game I'm about to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've already played this. It's, I think, been out since 2017, so it's kind of older now. I've already played this. I've beat the game and I'm just redoing it. So now I'm gonna play it because I am getting into my play game break time. Well, that was fun. I played for an hour instead of 30 minutes and I had a lot of fun. So now I am going to write for a little bit. I don't know exactly how long I want to write for, but I am going to write. So wish me luck, chapter 24, and I'll just see what I get done, how much I write, and I will update you guys later. Okay, so I ended up writing another 200-ish words for chapter 24, and I'm feeling okay about what I wrote. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that I even really like it. We are just trying to get it done, and I did the best I could. I wrote for about 15-ish minutes. Now I'm gonna be done for the day. I don't know what I have planned for the rest. I don't know what I have planned for the rest of the day, but I am assuming I will see you tomorrow. So do we remember when I said yesterday that I woke up at 6:30, I was really productive and I did so much before 10 o'clock in the morning? That didn't happen today, not by a long shot. It is 11:30 and I woke up an hour and a half ago. The only productive thing I've done today is about 30 minutes of learning my foreign language. I am about to dive into writing chapter 24. That's it. I literally have done nothing. I slept until almost 10 o'clock, which is super weird for me, considering last night I went to bed at like 9:30. So you mean to tell me I slept for like 12 hours? Who is she? I don't ever sleep for 12 hours, so clearly I needed it. I had a headache yesterday, like towards the end of the day. I guess I was just fatigued, like just so tired. Maybe from waking up so early, that was why I had a headache, which is why I usually try not to wake up that early. I'm not a morning person. But anyways, we're gonna get to writing, and this is upside down, but we're gonna write for a little while, get some words on the page. I'll probably write until that load of laundry needs to go into the dryer, and it usually takes about 45 minutes, and it's probably been going for about 5 minutes. Let's try and get about 1,000 words in the next 40-ish minutes, and we'll go from there. I just finished writing a little bit. So somebody had a live stream going on. I just popped into the comments or just popped into that stream for a little while. They did a 20-minute sprint, but I was writing a little bit before and the laundry just went off. So I'm gonna go change that out, but that sprint went very well. I ended up writing 717 words, and I'm so close to 58,000 words in this entire manuscript. So currently I'm at 57,382 words. I think I am going to keep writing until I get to 58 or past 58,000 words in the entire manuscript. I feel a lot better about this today and where chapter 24 is going. I mean, I knew chapter 24 was going to be the chapter where a lot of things were going to be happening. It's that pivotal chapter. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that are talked about and confronted, that battle-ish type scene or chapter. So there's a lot happening right now. Still not saying it's the best chapter, but I feel a lot better about this writing session and about this chapter than I did yesterday and within the last couple of weeks with this project. Feeling pretty good about it. But I'm gonna go change out the laundry and then I will get to writing a little bit more. All right, I am way too close. I finished chapter 24. So this chapter ended up being 1,663 words. The entire manuscript so far is 58,246 words. I am loving it now. I definitely have a love-hate relationship with the third act of this story. I am following my plot grid and I am starting to tie up everything. I think the reason why I was feeling the way I was feeling earlier is because there was so much going on and I was trying to balance everything, and because the month of August I just had such a hard time getting back to my story and writing it and staying within the realm of the story. I had a hard time getting back into it, but I'm not feeling that way right now. I think 2 days back to back, getting to write my story and to explore it and having fun with it, I have been able to stay within the story and stay hyped about it. In my next writing session, which will hopefully be tomorrow, maybe later today, but I don't want to make those promises, I will be starting chapter 25. We are still somewhat in the middle of that battle type scene. I'm pretty excited about getting to write this final battle scene. We'll have the last 2 chapters and then I'll be finished. I feel like I keep saying it's got about 5,000 more words. I feel like I keep adding words. That doesn't dwindle down. I would still say I have about 5,000-ish words, even though I feel like I literally have been saying that in every single update, but I do feel like it's got about 5,000 more words. Tomorrow should be a little interesting because I have a good bit of stuff that's planned for tomorrow, so we'll see how much writing I can get done. It's like, I think a week since my last update. I knew I wasn't going to film much on Saturday just because it was a busy day hanging out with my friends, but I did get some writing done because I did a writing sprint with Sarah Saturday night to Sunday morning during our live streams. I did get a little bit of writing done, and then I worked the first half of this week. Wednesday and Thursday I spent reading Return of the King for my book club with Brie Bonomo. So here we are on Friday. I have not written, and I wanted my deadline for this project to be yesterday, which I didn't hit. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We're gonna keep going on with this vlog until I finish this project. I definitely struggling with trying to finish this project. But it's okay. We are going to get through it. I feel like just sometimes struggling is part of the process. Right now, I am going to read Bunny by Mona Awad. I don't really know what this book is about, but I am in a little mini book club with two of my friends. One of them really wanted to read this book for spooky season, so that's what we're reading together for our little mini book club. Later today, I want to go to Barnes & Noble because I got the audiobook for The Last Wish, which is the prequel to The Witcher, and I got that book on audio through Libby, but I didn't want to buy the book until I was able to get the audiobook. I want to buy a couple of thrillers because I'm entering my thriller era. I will write later today. I have to edit a little bit of a YouTube video. I have to do all of this by like 5 o'clock tonight. We're gonna do this for a little while and probably until I have to leave to go to Barnes & Noble. So I am back from Barnes & Noble. I'll do a quick mini haul because I literally just got 4 books. And surprisingly, I got all of the books that I said I was going to. Usually when I go to Barnes & Noble, I usually buy additional books that I didn't go for, but I did pretty good this time. I set out to get The Witcher, so I got the prequel, the first one, The Last Wish, and then I ended up getting the second one, which is Sword of Destiny. The Last Wish introduces The Witcher, which is literally what it says on the side. Sword of Destiny, from my understanding, it's how The Witcher gets his sword, and it's like a collection of short stories. Could be totally wrong, but that is how it was pitched to me. The next one I got was Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. I have seen a few people with this book. It just sounds so creepy and so something that I want to read. It gives me Barney vibes, but I think the comp titles are It, and there was one other thing that was the comp title, but it's about this old TV show that something happened on the last day, but then fans of the show are kind of reminiscing on it and kind of bringing it back to life, and the surviving cast members all get together and they slowly start to remember their time on the show, but there's no surviving footage, there's nothing from the show, and nobody remembers who Mr. Magic is. I think they all go back to the set, like where it was all filmed, and weird things start happening, so kind of like how It is. It by Stephen King. And this seems super cool. I love the cover. Everything about this cover, I love it. It's so creepy, and I'm here for it. And then the last one I got is another thriller called The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I believe this is a dual timeline where back in the 80s, a girl went to this motel because weird, suspicious things were going on, so she went to investigate it, and then she went missing. Her body was never found. And then in present day, this girl who went missing, her niece, sets out on the same mission that her aunt did back in the 80s, and she was trying to figure out whatever happened to her aunt, and then those same things start happening to her. So it reminds me a lot of the Cecil Motel out in California. I guess I'm gonna go eat lunch and then read a little bit more of Bunny. I need to do a little bit of writing later today. We are inching
our way to victory. I mentioned earlier that I had a live stream with Sarah on Saturday, and I haven't written since her and I had our live stream, but I don't think I've talked about what I did. I mean, in the live stream I did, but I don't think for this video so far. I'm on chapter 25. I have 401 words in that chapter. I have about 1,000 more words that I would like to put into this chapter, maybe a little bit more. Then I only have chapter 26 and 27. So currently my draft is sitting at 58,649 words. I do feel like I've lost a little bit of passion for this story. I may have mentioned this last week. I think because this story needs so much work and I've made a lot of mistakes with this draft coming into the third act, I feel a little discouraged to keep going with the draft, to keep writing. I need to at least finish it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have like 2.5 chapters left. I can do it. I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna write for an hour or for about 50 minutes. Hopefully I can write 1,000 words in about an hour. Normally I can. Normally with this draft, that's been my average, but we know how lately I've been struggling with this draft. Maybe getting 1,000 words is gonna be a lot more difficult than it seems. It is 4:44. I wrote for about 40 minutes. I ended up writing 907 words, and the entire chapter ended up having 1,308 words. It's about where I want it to be now. It's not perfect, but I did my best. I am gonna go ahead and move on to chapter 26. I have 2 chapters left of this story. I have a total word count for the manuscript being 59,538 words. So I am very close to passing 60,000 words. I knew that the story would be between 60 and 65,000 words, so I'm still within the range that I wanted this story to be in. I'm just now writing significantly smaller chapters because I know I've messed up in several places. When I kick this off tomorrow, I am going to be starting chapter 26. Chapter 26 is going to take place immediately after whatever's happening at the end of chapter 25. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with the next scene. I made progress and I am very pleased with that progress. Here's to tomorrow and the 3,000 words I have left of this manuscript. That was an okay writing session. I wouldn't say I'm super proud of it just because I feel like I'm kind of in a little slumpy type mood when it comes to this story. I think that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. We will get to writing more tomorrow. So good afternoon. I have literally done nothing today. So last night I showed you guys some clips of us going out on the town and we had so much fun. We did a lot more, but I was not able to film everything because my phone ended up having 1% battery life. Oh, my phone is so old and I need to get a new one, but your girl has other bills she's got to pay off first. We will just have the phone that the battery just dies immediately. With it being 1:30
4:30 in the afternoon and I have not started any writing. Just want to say, I'm not worried. I know that seems late in the day, and for some people, it absolutely is. For me, it's not. I have to work tomorrow night, and I work night shift, so the day before I have to go back to work, I flip my schedule. So I've got to be up until 4:30 in the morning. Anyways, I'm golden, honestly. Like, that's what, another 14 hours that I have to do everything, and I have plans to get all of that stuff done. And I said I didn't do anything this morning. That's kind of a lie. I did end up reading a few pages this morning, and then I ended up falling back asleep on the couch, but it's fine. Now I am just going to sit and write for a little while. Last night, I think I had said that I am starting chapter 26. That's what I'm going to be doing here shortly. I'm going to be starting that chapter. I just have some other little household things that need to get done today. That sprint went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. For at least 20 minutes, I was listening to my playlist. I went through my Pinterest board, reviewed my plot grid, and went through the document a couple of times. I know last night I wanted to pick up exactly where I had left off, so I wanted to do that, but I just wanted to make sure I had a clear vision of how I wanted to start this chapter. That was a great sprint. I ended up writing, I think, for about 40 minutes. I ended up writing 767 words. I ended up passing 60K. As of right now, this document is sitting at 60,294 words. I'm turning the ending around. I know that I've made those mistakes earlier that I've kind of talked about. I'm feeling a lot more confident with this ending. Now, not that I changed the ending, but how I got to the ending was not quite what I expected, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I would say I probably have about 1,000-ish more words, maybe a little less than that, for this chapter, and then I am on to the final chapter. Thank goodness. I feel like it's been like pulling teeth trying to get to the end of this story. It is so incredibly dark in here. Hang on, let me see if I can get to a better place. I think this is the best lighting we're gonna possibly get because it is gloomy and rainy and just all of those things today. So we need to have a chat. How's it going? How are you doing? Before we get on to me, I have a smidge left of this story that needs to be written. It is I think a week later than my pushed back deadline. So we are pushing the deadline back a smidge more. I should be able to finish this draft today or tomorrow. I had a lot of errands and I had an appointment today and the battery is about to die. Hang on one second. New battery, same me. We did a lot of things today. I did not vlog any of it just because it was a lot. I had to run errands. I have been awake since 3:30 this morning. It's currently 4:30 in the afternoon. And I haven't even taken a nap yet. And I probably won't because I still have a lot of stuff that I need to do today. There was something that set my day behind tremendously. And this battery is dying as well. I am about to lose my mind. Okay, round 3. If the battery pack dies this time, we're just gonna be done vlogging for the day because I don't think I can handle it. There was a minor inconvenience today that turned into just a gigantic inconvenience and really just annoyed me. But it's all fine now. All is well, all is good. And I had plans of doing a good bit of stuff today. On top of doing all of the errands and life things that I had to do today, I wanted to do a little bit of writing. And I think I'm still going to do that because I have like 2,000 words left in this document. before I am finished with the story. I think I just want to sit for a little while and write for a bit. I'm not gonna have nearly as much time as I originally wanted. That's okay. I am meeting up with my book club later tonight, and we are talking about Bunny by Mona Awad. I believe that's the author's name. I'm kind of drawing a blank because I'm a little sleepy. I am about halfway through that book and we are loving it in the book club. So I can't wait for us to meet up and we can talk about that later tonight. I think I have a good solid hour of getting some stuff done before I have to start making supper. I think I just want to write for a little bit. I'm saying for an hour, but really kind of whatever I'm feeling. I don't think I'm going to be able to do much more than that. I feel like I haven't updated the vlog in a week, but to give you a recap on everything that's been going on, I have just been working. So hopefully I can get this draft done within the next couple of days. I feel like I keep saying that. I keep pushing this date back and I'll eventually finish this draft. I will eventually finish it. But hopefully I finish it by the end of September. But I'm not saying that's the deadline. I really do want to finish this within the next couple of days because it's time. It's time to wrap up this story. It's time to finish it. It's time to move on to starting to prep for October and for NaNoWriMo. We need to get this story done so we can work on our last couple of months of the year with writing. I'm gonna go do some things and I will check in with you guys in a bit. Okay, listen, it's the next day. And we're not even gonna talk about what I did and didn't do yesterday. But what I am gonna say is right now, I'm gonna write. And I have full plans to finish the story today. I have a free afternoon, whole afternoon. I'm now gonna alternate between drafting and doing laundry. I am also gonna do a little bit of video editing. So that's what we need to do, like right now. I am so freaking ready to finish this story. I feel like we all have just been dragged through this story and it just doesn't end. I don't understand why this is happening with this story. Let me know if this is something that's ever happened to you where you feel like you have set a self-imposed deadline for a story and just have not finished the freaking story. And it's almost a month later. I set this deadline to challenge myself. It's good to try to write drafts a little bit quicker. We were doing great. We were doing solid things up until August. And August, everything just fell apart. So, yeah. But I only have like 2,000 words left of this manuscript, and I need to finish it. Enough of me yakety yakking. Let's write. Let's just write for Pete's sake. Okay. One chapter left. One chapter left, and I'm not gonna lie, the end of chapter 26, I actually had a lot of fun writing that. I know it's been a little bit of a struggle trying to get through this story, but I found a really nice groove and I ended up finishing chapter 26. That chapter in total ended up being 1,650 words, and the entire manuscript so far is at 61,179 words. In that sprint, I would say I wrote about 883 words, which got me to the end of chapter 26. And chapter 27 is the final chapter in this book. I want it to have an epilogue, but I don't have plans to write the epilogue in the first draft. I will write that when I go back and start revisions, get a second draft written, and it might be a second or a third draft thing. One chapter left. I'm thinking 1,000 words, 1,200 words, or 1,500 words. Regardless, I have less than 2,000 words left of this project, and I couldn't be happier. I think I want to sit here and just pound out the last little bit of this project because it has taken me way too long to get to this point. It's taken me way too long to finish this story. I really want to finish it today, and I still have plenty of time where I could finish it and get the other things done that I want to do today as well. All right, let's do this. Let's write this last chapter. Let's write the end. Let's put this story behind us. That sounds really bad. That's definitely not what I mean about putting the story behind us, but let's finish it. Wish me luck. Here we go. We are going to pound out the last 1,200 words. Well, I did it. I have officially finished the first draft of my third project. So chapter 27 ended up being probably one of my favorite chapters. I won't lie. I really enjoyed wrapping up everything and getting the characters to a nice place, or a satisfying place, a satisfying ending to their plot line, to their storyline. This chapter ended up being 1,884 words, for the entire manuscript being 63,063 words. I did not plan that at all, but I absolutely love that it is symmetrical like that. I'm officially done with this story. I know it was a little hairy there for a little while. I was feeling really down with this story, just kind of in a writing slump. I guess that's what you could technically call it. Finishing this story and writing the end and getting all the way through the ending is an amazing feeling. And I am so happy that I pushed through, that I did not just give up, because I know a lot of this story is going to have to be fixed, reworked, rewritten. A lot of it is going to be changing. That is a lot discouraging when you know that a lot of the words that you're writing right now are going to have to be rewritten or scrapped or anything. I am very proud of myself for pushing through and writing the rest of the story, even though towards the end there, I think it was the last 5 or 6 chapters, I did cut the word count significantly so I could get to the ending. I got to the ending and I knew that this draft was going to be between 60 and 65,000 words, and it is. It's pretty much dead middle. It's 63,000 words. 63 words is exactly in the middle of kind of the range that I wanted this draft to be in. I do want to make a video talking about my entire thoughts of this story. I did this when I finished Project Burning Roses. I took a couple of weeks, I think, to gather some thoughts about the story being a finished product, and I talked about things that I did enjoy about the draft and then things that I know I need to improve for the next story and for the next draft of the story. So I want to do that again with this project because I love having that to look back on, and I feel like it's a great idea and a great thing to do, just kind of summarize how I'm feeling about a draft while it's still fresh in my mind. But I'm definitely not going to do that today. I'll probably wait before I do that. That'll be it for this video, but let me know how you guys are doing with your writing, how you enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a long one, I'm sure, because it took me a lot longer to finish this draft than I originally wanted it to, but let me know how your writing is going. But that's gonna be it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being part of my writing journey and following me on this chaos. You have no idea how much it means to me. I am Autumn Ashley, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.